channel. I hope you're all doing fantastically well. And we are back here with a video with the 3 signings I would make after the Koch acquisition and the Rodrigo acquisition. Now, this was a really great day for Leeds United yesterday, spending £40 million in a day. That's unheard of. I don't think as Leeds United fans, however old you are, you've ever seen us spend that sort of money. We broke our transfer record, of course, with the £29 million signing of Rodrigo, the Spanish international. And then later on that day, on a Saturday, on a weekend, we made the signing of Koch, the German international, part of the new wave, the regeneration of the German national team. And great. How great is that? You know, we've replaced Ben White with a guy who is 12 to 13 million. Ben White would have cost us 35. This guy's got international experience, top level experience, played against some of the best teams in Europe. So I'm more than happy with that. And maybe it leaves the door open for another centre-back option. But let's get into the 3 players that I would sign. Now, number 1 would be a goalkeeper. Now, I think a goalkeeper in any side is absolutely imperative. It is crucial to a team's progression through any calendar season, especially a top-flight Premier League campaign. Now, we've got some good options out there. Initially, I did talk about on the previous 5 signings I would make for Leeds United this transfer window, of the goalkeeper being Aaron Ramsdale. Now, Aaron Ramsdale did move to Sheffield United for a hefty fee, but a decent fee in terms of how his career is going to pan out. He's got a lot of potential, and I know that's what we were talking about when we were looking at the acquisition initially of Ben White. You know, his projection, he's got 9-10 years left at the top level. So, you know, you invest in the future like we have done with the youth products, including Cody Drama and Joe Gelhard. So you can understand why we would make the acquisition of someone like Aaron Ramsdale. But instead, somebody like Sergio Romero, for me, should be the number 1 target for Leeds. There's been a lot of rumours around Emi Martinez, but I've seen this morning once again that there's talks between him and Arsenal. I just don't know if they're going to let him go. There's some publications saying he is going to be let go, but that could also always be a part of a contract renewal tactic, which we see players do all the time. We really saw Ben White's agent do that on Sky Sports. So is Emi Martinez's agent doing that? And I think he is. You know, I think he's looking for a new contract, whereas someone like Sergio Romero is looking for the exit signs at Manchester United. Now, could he make that replacement for De Gea? Is he good enough? Of course he is. I believe he's about 32, 33 years of age. But the big factor that Sergio Romero will be leaving Manchester United this window is the fact that Dean Henderson has signed a new contract, and him and De Gea will be battling it out for that number 1 jersey on the red side of Manchester. So how do Leeds go in with this contract negotiation? Well, for me, a 10 to 15 million at most transfer for Romero would get it underway. You know, 10 million at best for me. I think that's probably the limit I would go for Romero. Obviously, with his age playing a massive factor. You know, goalkeepers don't lose. You know, we saw Van der Sar going on to a ridiculous level. Brad Friedel going on till he's 40. So 32, 33 for a goalkeeper is absolutely nothing. But with the departure potentially of Kiko Casilla, and we've not really seen any regular involvement of Kiko, even just in the celebrations of Leeds United, I think they are looking to get rid of someone like Sergio Romero. Got that Spanish link. There's a lot of Spanish people, Spanish/Argentinian people within the squad, obviously speaking the same language. Bielsa, Orta, Pablo Hernandez, Rodrigo, and even Kiko. So that makes a big part of an adaptability for a player coming into a squad. The transition is a lot easier. We saw that with Rodrigo's interview yesterday. He's texted Pablo Hernandez, and he said the adaptability to getting into a squad when players speak your language, they're from your homeland, they understand, you know, they're from the Mediterranean or whatever. It's a lot easier. It's a lot easier for players to be able to get into a squad and get the, you know, the cultural differences between, you know, let's say in England and a Spain and an Argentina can be quite vast. So, you know, him fitting in is absolutely crucial. But obviously Romero does also speak English, which is crucial. Doesn't seem to have a big ego as well. He's happy to be sitting on the bench and has a very positive attitude when he comes into the Manchester United squad with a very good clean sheet ratio. So my number 1 would be Sergio Romero. So number 2 for me, guys, would be another centre-back. Now, I know we keep talking about Koch and what a great signing he's been, but I do still think we're a little bit thin on the centre-back, wavelength. There was a lot of talk from Phil Hay yesterday saying Bielsa's head and his coaching staff might be actually turned by the fact that Leeds need another centre-back in the Premier League. Now, we've always known that Pascal Struijk is probably going to be that second centre-back, but is he going to be able to fit into a Premier League campaign, the elite level of a Premier League campaign, if potentially a Robin or a Liam gets injured throughout the season? It's a big ask. So is Bielsa sort of coming round to it? Now, my second signing would obviously be someone of the likes of Felipe Luis, of course, but I think a realistic signing would be someone like Axel Tuanzebe. Now, Tuanzebe, he is injury prone. Of course he is. You know, we've seen that throughout his tenure, but, you know, speaking to Max from Villa on tour, saying he's an absolutely exceptional player, a very, very good player. And Manchester United just aren't utilising him. Now, would he be happy to come and sit on the bench at Leeds United? I don't know. His ability is very, very good. But once again, Leeds, for me, could nick him for something like 10 to 15 million. For me, I believe he's not going to be utilised at Manchester United. For me, I think they've got too many players in front of him. So someone like that is on Leeds' radar. We saw Phil Hay tweet last night and mentioned Tuanzebe's name. Now, I think he's a brilliant player. That, you know, when he was at Villa, he was very, very, very good. Touted as one of their best players. And I think he'd be strong at the back. He'd be a strong backup as well. Whether or not he'd be a backup or not, maybe that's going to be competition for someone like Liam Cooper or obviously someone like Robin Koch. And it'd be great to have that competition at centre-back again. But I do think having another centre-back is absolutely critical because we don't know what Robin Koch is going to be like throughout the season. We don't know if he's going to pick up a couple of injuries. That has potential for any new signing. And obviously, once again, the adaptability to Marcelo Bielsa's philosophies are always difficult. His work ethic is always difficult. We saw that with the amount of soft tissue injuries last season that Leeds picked up. We saw that on the Amazon documentary. So I think another centre-back is absolutely crucial. So I would go for Axel Tuanzebe. Now, guys, as well, I think I wouldn't go for a left-back, but if I'm going to touch on a left-back, I would go for Rico Henry. I think he's brilliant. His athleticism, his prowess, his physical nature, his ability and his capability of being in a system which is very similar to Marcelo Bielsa's is a big advantage. Works hard up and down the line, very strong. You don't see many right-sided players getting the better of him. He would be my left-back choice. I don't know if we're going to be going in for a left-back choice, and I think there is a more important position, but he would be my bonus choice. As you know, if we've got a fourth signing, it would be Rico Henry for left-back. Now, guys, the main position, obviously, I wanted to go for, which would be number 3, obviously, with the bonus of a left-back, would be a CAM sort of winger, a 10 or a winger, and that would be Ryan Kent. I love his ability to get the ball on his back foot, either side, and run at the defence. He always looks to get a shot off. I don't think he's got a massive ego. Yeah, he's got a bit of attitude here and there, but I think that's quite good to have that in the Premier League. And let's be right, half the time he shows attitude, it's Scott Brown winding him up from Celtic. But I think he's a very, very good player. He's direct. He's been involved in a very good teams in Steven Gerrard and Jurgen Klopp. He's got that winning mentality. Obviously, a little bit different at Rangers, but it's that psychology that I think it breeds winners. You know, Steven Gerrard is a winner. Jurgen Klopp is a winner. And I think Ryan Kent feeds off that. I love his directness, how he runs, how he draws fouls, how he shoots, how he's so confident on set plays, which would be very advantageous in terms of we've got height now in Rodrigo and Robin Koch. So I think that will be very good in from set piece. And Bielsa wants him. You know, we've already put a bid in for him. Are we sort of waiting a little bit, like I've said on my video the other day, just for Rangers to start sweating? Now, the SPL, economically, it's not a prosperous league for me. I think there's only one team in it. No disrespect to Rangers, but I just think Celtic are just, you know, they just keep going, they keep strengthening. They've clearly got a lot of money behind them. And Steven Gerrard, I respect fully what he's trying to do. Now, the difficulty this morning that was reported from Reluctant Nico of the Sun was that it's going to become more difficult because Morelos is kicking off. He wants to leave. Now, obviously, if Morelos goes, is Kent going to leave? Well, yeah, because money talks for me. And if they can invest that money, they've still got a while to go in the transfer window. I think that could be done for Leeds. And I think if we go in for a second bid, that could be something that Leeds could get done. And obviously, Bielsa clearly wants him. So, guys, that was my 3 players, including a bonus player. Let me know who you think in the comments section below. We have a Patreon account if you want to help the channel out, or a PayPal account if you just want a one-off donation, guys. It all goes back into the channel. We've also got a Fantasy Premier League league, which you can go click on. That's coming very close now. We've also got a Discord chat if you want to be part of that community feel that we have here on the Info Swing with Conor McGilligan chat. Please make sure you like and comment. And obviously, if you are new, please subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you in a bit.